it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I am here with my first layout using the August for the Love of Homemade Kits kit that we put together. So if you click down below, there's a link to the actual kit contents if you want to see everything that is inside. And so for this first layout, I chose these photos, and I have 4 of them, and only 3 of them are actually going to make it onto the layout. But these are photos of my son. We were in Big Bear Lake, California, and he was riding on the Alpine slide for the very first time. So the picture on the top is my son and his brother and sister with their sleds up at the top of the hill before they went. And then I have a picture of my little guy from the top of the hill starting the ride down. And then I also have a picture of him from the bottom of the hill when he gets to the very, very end of this pretty long ride. So those are going to be the photos that I used today, and I just took them and cut all 3 to a 3x3 size, and then I matted them on some white cardstock. So right now what I'm doing is creating a border over there on the left where my photos are going to live, and so I took some of that paper ribbon and just backed it with some of the coralish color pattern paper, and that's going to be that border on the side, and then I'm going to go ahead and work on matting my photos. So I really wanted these photos to stand out, even though they're in the smaller size. I've been really trying to make an effort lately to incorporate multiple photos on my pages in some different and unique ways. I know this has kind of been something that's been talked about a lot online lately in terms of new and fresh ideas for including multiple photos rather than just one single photo on layouts. And I actually really enjoy using multiple photos, especially because I feel like they tell a little bit more of the story, especially a story like this where there's a lot of action involved. So I really enjoy scrapbooking with more than one photo. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is I have that 6x6 paper from that Boys Rule paper pad by Crate Paper, and it has this sheet of tickets. And I'm trying to decide where I'm going to use it, and I thought I was going to go there through the middle, and it ends up it's going to go kind of off both edges at the top right-hand corner, and then there at the bottom, kind of middle to the bottom on the left-hand side. And I'm just going to cut that into 2 big strips. And you'll see throughout this entire process, I play with that top one quite a bit because it just doesn't feel right. So it's just not in the right spot, or it keeps coming undone, or it's not at the right angle. So I do end up playing with that one quite a bit, but it does end up staying there on the final layout. So now I'm taking that black and white. This was my stripe paper from the kit, and it was a full 12x12. So I'm kind of trying to conserve paper here. Because this is the first layout of my kit, I have the entire kit's worth of product. And so I kind of have to limit myself to make sure that I am reminding myself that this kit is going to last the entire month. So I am trying to use small pieces of things. And there I have that paper ribbon back out again, and I'm going to cut it in half so I get just one little portion of that chevron and make it into a banner. And then I'm also going to back the banner on that coralish color. It looks more red in the picture, but it is actually coral in real life. Back it with the coral paper so that it matches my border that's on the other side, and it's just going to kind of tie my 2 embellishment areas together. And then I'm just cutting some different little strips of paper that are going to go up there at the top as well. I'm sorry, it's a little bit off the page, but you can get the general idea and see what I'm doing. So I'm just looking through trying to find what other paper I want to add up there, and I'm going to cut a little strip of these tickets, and that's also going to go up there at the top. And I'm just going to layer those together. There you see I have my different layers, and I'm going to put one of those wood veneer pieces up at the top. And I'm actually going to go back to that and change it up a little bit before I'm finished in that area. And then I have these other 2 pieces of wood veneer. So I like to use things in 3s, of course, according to that rule of 3s. And so I have those 3 wood veneers. And then I decide to go back and add some of my chevron washi tape on both sides of the border. And I really like that because it does make it stand out even more. And then I add the same element to that banner across the top, and it's just right through the middle. And I love the little black detailing that it adds because I am going to add some more black details to this page as well. And then I went back with that coral paper, and I'm adding just another strip behind my row of photos so that that's really going to stand up off the page. And I do end up putting pop dots behind it as well to give it some dimension. So what you're seeing me do right now is I have this stencil from Tim Holtz, and I'm trying to line up exactly where I want it to go. And so there you see I've taped it off with my washi tape. And basically what I do is I just pick a washi tape that I don't particularly like, I'm not really going to use anymore, and it becomes like my junk washi tape. And so I use it for things like this. So I have this black texture paste, and I'm putting it through that stencil, and the stencil itself is just different travel words. And then I also take one of those words, the adventure, and mimic it up in the top right hand corner along the top as well. So it's giving me some dimension and adding just a little bit of detail to that travel theme, but it also brings in some of that black detail. And then I've taken my cork thickers, and I'm using those for the big part of my title that says Need for Speed. And then I have some of those basic gray little letter tiles that I'm going to use for the rest of the title. So the entire title altogether says You've Got the Need for Speed. And then I go ahead and go back and I pull out my StazOn ink and my roller stamp with the phrases, and that's for Maggie Holmes. And I'm using two different phrases, Treasured Memories and The Best Ever. And I'm just stamping those a couple of times on those black rim tags, and those are from Teresa Collins. And then one of those is going to get layered on each one of those little tag pattern paper inserts around my photo. It's going to add that little extra black detailing that I was talking about before, so I like those really subtle black details. And then it's just going to kind of add some interest on both sides, and I really like how that looks when it's done. You also see I went back and added some splatters with black mist, and that's my black mist from Studio Calico. And now I'm just adding a little bit of journaling that this was over the summer and this was on the Alpine slide. I've glued down all of my different wood veneer pieces, and I'm coming to the end where this is basically going to be it for this layout. So I really hope you enjoyed what you saw. I used a lot of pattern paper pieces, created a lot of layers, got that stencil in there, which has been a challenge in my previous kits, trying to get the stencil used. And I hope you'll come back next week and check out my next video with this kit, and then also make sure you check out Felicia, Megan, and Hannah's videos to see what they created. Bye!